Hi everyone, Stu again. So I'm gonna do a bit of a book review. I was gonna do like a top five, but I can't really choose which ones are my favourite. So I just chose 5 books that I really like, and I thought I can talk about them and give you like a suggestion of maybe which ones to go towards and which ones not. So I'll start with probably one of my favourite ones, which is Twilight. I love Twilight. I think Twilight was. It's probably died down now, but I think it was such a huge, like massive deal when Twilight first came out, and I loved the books and I loved the films as well. Maybe I liked the books a little bit more, but I think the films were done just as they were done brilliantly. They spent a lot of money, maybe a little bit too much money, but I think they're brilliant books. So Twilight, good read. If you haven't read it, read it. Next one, Hunger Games. Now, this is one of the books that I read after I saw the first film, and I thought, well, I'll see what the film's like, and then I watched the film, and then I was a bit annoyed because everybody said that I should have read the books first, and I think I wish I had, because it sort of ruined the film for us, because I enjoyed the film so much. When I read the book, I was like, well, actually, the book's so much better. So I was a little bit annoyed, because then I was a bit depressed at the film. But they're good films. Second one's Fallen. This was by Lauren Kate. There is a few books similar to it, I think. Have I got the other one? Hush Hush by Becca Fitz. Oh my god, how am I going to read that? Fitzpatrick, I think that one is. They're quite similar books. They have like similar content and similar storyline. But I think Fallen's better written, personally. I don't know if everybody agrees with that. These are my personal choices. They are my personal preferences. If people don't like them, I apologise now. But it's just what I like, and I'm in a bit of a fantasy book freak. The fourth one is a book that I've read a few times. But it was mainly because everybody said that the film was crap, so I was a bit like, oh, well, I quite enjoyed the film. So everybody was like, read the books, especially my sister. My sister was obsessed with these books. So I thought, right, I'll take advice and I'll read it. And that was Eragon. And it's by Christopher, I'm going to slate his name, Paulino, I think it is. They're brilliant books, they really are. I think they're a little bit heavy sometimes. I think there's like a lot in them. Like they've crammed them full of information, and I think that sometimes can be a little bit off-putting, especially if you don't get the storyline very well. It can be a little bit intense, but they were a good read. I enjoyed them. Yeah, I enjoyed them. The last, well, unless I find more in my book pile I decided to talk about, my last one is a series of books, and I love them. I have been reading them for about 6 years. When the first book came out, it was actually in the library. I read it. I think I just got it on like a haul from the library. So it's House of Night. This isn't the first one. I think this is like the 11th or the 10th book or something. But the first couple I got from the library. I love libraries, and I think it's such a shame that they're closing, because I think once you've read a book, I think it's nice to know that somebody else is getting that enjoyment from that book. But I think it's such a shame, like locally where I live, the library closed and then they reopened a different one, and it isn't, you've got to, if there's a certain book you want, you've got to wait like maybe a week or so to get it delivered to your library, or you've got to drive and pick it up from somewhere else, which I think is such a shame. I think at the end of the day, I think without libraries that now have computers, and like when we were younger, that's where we used to go. We used to go and knock about in libraries, and I would go and pick like 9 or 10 books or magazines, and they even used to do audio tapes, which I don't think they do anymore. I don't think. Somebody correct me. They probably do, and I don't remember. But this book is brilliant. It is a very, very good series, and actually I've not told you what any of them are about. We'll do a quick recap of them. This one is vampire-based. It's a little bit of a twist on the already done story. This one, instead of being bitten and turned into a vampire, you're actually marked. So you get like a crescent moon, which is obviously on the titles. It's on pretty much all of the books. But this one's by PC and Kirsten Cast, and they are brilliant authors. They work together they go together so well. Like, I don't know which one sits down and decides to write which piece, but they are brilliant. They are greatly written. The characters have so much information. The storyline in every book is so different. It is a section of books. I mean, a continuous thing of books. So it's always about the same people. It's just obviously carrying on the story. But this is about a girl who gets marked and then has to go to a vampire school, which they call them Houses of Nights. And it's in, I'm trying to think, is it too slow? Oh, I'm gonna slate at this, and I am. Where was it at? Oh, I don't even know. But it's about a House of Nights in some place. But they are a brilliant story. There's so many different loves, deaths. Oh, it's great. So that is probably one of my biggest reads, apart from Twilight. This one I can't wait for the books to come out. There is another book to go out very soon. I can't remember the release date, but it is coming out soon. So if you are into the Twilight-y type of things, then this is really good. It's more of a teen fiction read rather than an adult one, I suppose. But I like it. I think it's written very well. Right, I'll go back over and just... Eragon, if you haven't seen the film, is about dragons and Dragon Rider, which is about a young lad who finds an egg and becomes the last Dragon Rider. It is a really, really good book. But that's pretty much, it's more based around dragons. Fallen is about fallen angels. It's about a girl who falls in love with a fallen angel, blah, 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 blah. But it's got really good twists in this book. This book, compared to Hush Hush, and please don't get them confused. Yeah, this one's about Lucy and Daniel, and it does have quite a few twists in it. There is 3 or 4 books. There is Fallen, Torment and Passion. This one's by Lauren Kate. The 3 books are out now. I can't remember if there's a 4th in the series. Yeah, far too many and I couldn't find the 4th, so I don't know if there is. But they were good. They were a good read. They are a good read. Hunger Games. Oh, how do I explain it? If you haven't seen the film, I'd recommend watching the film. If you're within age, it's about a girl who gets called up to fight in like a war, if you can call it a sort of war. It's more like a tournament, sorry. And she gets to, and it is pretty much about death, but it is a really, really good book. Twilight, if you've missed the whole Twilight thing, which I don't know how, but if you have, it's about a girl who falls in love with a vampire and there's werewolves. You can see how many times I've read it by the state that the book's actually in. But it is a really, really, really good book. There is 4 major books, and then there's a 5th, which is The Short Second Life of Brie Tanner, which was a really good read as well. I was quite surprised because I was a bit like, it's tiny. I think it's like 150 pages. I think. I could be totally wrong, but I think it's about 150 pages. It is a really good book because you just... If you haven't seen the films, you don't expect some of the things that are in it. Like, some of the characters are so well written. Stephanie Mears is an amazing author. She is brilliant. The way she spoke about the characters and everything else is just wrote about the characters. Sorry, it's really, really interesting. I would definitely give that a read. I do have some other books that I like. But if I talk about every book that's on my bookshelf, I'm going to be here for hours. Some of them are a bit more adult-y and some of them are more children's. There's a great series by Stephen King, which is, if you give me 2 seconds... Which are these. And these are really, really good. They're more of a crossover book, so it's if you've a younger generation and you've liked teen fiction and you've gone from teen fiction and think, actually, I've read quite a few of the younger ones, maybe I'm getting a little bit too used to the way that they're written, or some of the storylines and then maybe there isn't in depth. These are quite good. These are the Dark Tower series. Yeah, these are the Dark Tower series. They are... Stephen King is absolutely amazing. He is just like the bomb. He is. He's brilliant. These were a very, very good crossover book. These are a little bit more in depth, a little bit more serious than some of the more teen fiction-y books like The House of Nights and Twilight. And But they're brilliant. I don't want to really go through the storyline because I don't know how I'm going to do it without spoiling it. I'm trying to read what's on the back and see if there's anything in there that you can... to say it's about a gunslinger, but... how do I explain it? It's best thing to do is probably Google it, because there is no one else I'm going to be able to give you a good enough description of the book without spoiling it. I can only remember certain bits. It's been a very long time since I've read it. But it is a very, very, very good book. I'm so sorry I keep looking at the camera. I keep looking here because this is where my screen is and not here where the camera is. So I deeply apologise again. This is my second video on YouTube, so I will hopefully be doing some more. But at the moment I just wanted to make sure that I got a couple of little bits of videos out. I am going to do another one just after this. Probably about a bullying video, I think. It depends. I don't know whether I'm in the mood to talk about something so serious. But if I'm feeling emotionally okay, then I will do that one after this one. Yeah, I'll do that one after this one. If anybody's got any other good books that they want to recommend, that they think would be a really good read, that I would enjoy, I would love to hear from you. There is quite a few books that I'm in the middle of reading at the moment that I'm maybe getting a little bit bored of, so it would be nice to have something fresh. Just let me know, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Bye!